Paltrocast.
Sadie, how's your day going aside from answering the same questions over and over and over again?
It's going pretty good. I'm enjoying it. Thank you very much.
Glad to hear that. And we were connected because of At the Gates. I've had the pleasure of speaking with one or two of your castmates so far. Sounds like you filmed in September 2021. Is that correct?
Yeah, September, November, something like that. Yeah, 2 years ago. Crazy.
So COVID era film, but people finally learned how to film right. Got it. So how much of you is there in this character from At the Gates?
Um, I think there's always a little bit of me in every character that I play. I think that it wasn't too difficult to tap into Lauren, although we're not super similar. I can kind of empathize always with a teenage girl who's kind of in her own little world. I think that's what's interesting about Lauren is that she's so sheltered and she's so lives in her little privileged bubble. Um, and she just I think is kind of shocked when this experience happens with Anna and Nico coming to live with them and hide in their basement, and it kind of opens her eyes and expands her world and her perspective on things, and she realizes that like the world doesn't revolve around her and there's a lot more going on outside of her little bubble. And I think it's a very important moment in her life. And if she was a real person, it would greatly affect her for the rest of her life, I think. So I think I've had experiences like that growing up when I was exposed to certain things, or as your brain develops, I guess you kind of
Right.
greater perspective on the world and on people and what they're going through.
Had you worked with any of the cast or crew before being cast in this one?
No. Mm-mm.
Miranda gave the same answer, that this was our first time with everyone and everything. So for you, what drew you into At the Gates?
I really just love the story. When I read the script, I knew the story was strong. I love a psychological thriller. I love something that's like suspenseful and kind of like when you can't trust your characters. I think that's so fun. But I also just loved that there's this amazing heart-wrenching story going on at the same time. It's kind of genre bending, and I love a drama in that sense. Um, and I loved the dynamic of Nico and his mom, and how beautiful that relationship was. And Vanessa and Ezekiel did an amazing job portraying that. And that's the heart of the film for sure. So it's just a story that I really wanted to be a part of. So I'm grateful that Augie let me.
Augie. Okay, so Augustus, once you get to know Augustus, he becomes Augie. There you go. So you mentioned the term genre bending. And of course, your credits are very diverse. I mean that in a fantastic way. I don't know how many people can pull off At the Gates and Kim Possible and the Goldbergs, etc. Now, when you started out, did you want to do a little bit of everything, or are you a comedic person that accidentally fell into drama?
I think I'm more so a dramatic person. I love a drama. I don't know. I've always been a drama queen, I think. But you need comedy in your life, like you do. I love to sit down and watch comedies. So I don't want to get stuck in doing one thing. I want to do it all. I just love storytelling in general, and there's room for it everywhere. We need comedy, and we need lighthearted movies to get us through the day, and then we also need these impactful stories and more dramatic movies that really like make an impact on the world. So there's both. I want both.
That makes sense. And when people look you up, it usually says award-winning actress and singer. Is there anything coming up for you on the musical front?
No, I don't really have I don't really have the desire to be a singer. I think that maybe I would do like a musical movie or
Oh,
something. I grew up doing theater, so maybe I'll go back to that one day. I do love music in my personal life, but it's probably mostly going to stay in my personal life. I don't think I have. I'm going to stick to acting for now, and maybe producing.
you never know. Auto tune does wonders when you're skeptical about how good you can be, right?
So yeah.
Well, two quick questions and then I'll let you go. And the first one, we'll do substitute if you're not allowed to answer this. Do we know what project is next for you after At the Gates, or do we just have to wait and see due to embargoes and all that?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, but hopefully some fun stuff. I'm excited to get back to work.
Okay, substitute question here. When you're not busy with work, what's the number two hobby slash passion?
Um, right now it's mostly any form of like visual physical art. But right now it's pottery. I've been really into pottery for the last like year or so. Have my own pottery wheel at home. I've been really getting into it. It's really fun. It's really therapeutic, and especially with the strike going on, I need some sort of creative outlet, I think.
And this is not the last question, but is there a way to see your pottery? Is there a Pottery Sadie Instagram?
There's not, but I'll probably post my pottery on Instagram at some point. I feel like I should, because
And
it has
then
become like a big part of my life. So
eventually we'll get the museum touring exhibit as well of the pottery.
yes, all my sculptures.
And then the last question, obviously At the Gates is the best movie of the year, obviously, but any other recommendations? What's the second best movie or film that we should be checking out in the Paltrowitz household?
Well, I will say independent films in general. Anytime you can support an indie filmmaker or film, that's always like amazing. Especially movies like this that came from a very small budget, and you have to fight tooth and nail to get press, and you have to fight tooth and nail to get any sort of release. Anything you can do to support an indie is always helpful. So buy your tickets.
Stay indie. Well, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the film, and really looking forward to what's coming next from you in the near future, Sadie.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Paltrocast.